Good morning, everyone. I am currently doing, and have been for like the last 3 hours, I am currently doing my least favourite part of my job, and that is packing orders. It takes forever and it's dull, but I'm getting there slowly. I just want to get them done and out the door. And yeah, we're not doing much today. We're having a really quiet day. We had quite a disturbed night last night. I mentioned the other day, I think, that we're tackling Arthur's overnight continence issues at the moment. So he's wearing an alarm at night time. And the last couple of nights, bless him, the alarm has gone off during the night. So we've been up having to just sort him out and stuff like that, which once you're used to having kids that generally sleep through the night is quite unsettling again, because my body is not used to having disturbed night sleeps anymore. So yeah, a bit tired today. Everyone's a bit tired today. So we are not doing much. I am just trying to get these orders packed. The boys are just having a chill out with Tom downstairs. Hopefully I should be done relatively soon. I think I'm well over halfway through the orders, so I'm going to pop on some Netflix on my phone and keep going for a little bit and just, yeah, carry on getting them done. And then they'll all be on their way to you, and I get to see all your wonderful Instagram pictures of everyone opening their happy mail, and it makes the fact that I hate packaging them worthwhile. So I'm having a really lazy vlogging day. So apologies for that. We haven't been anywhere. We haven't done anything. Although actually Tom did take Arthur for a quick cycle in the park because he was getting a little bit restless. And I was trying to decide what I could share with you. And there's one thing I've been meaning to do in our office, our wonderful, crazy, tiny office, for quite a while. I used to have, before we moved rooms, all of my kind of postcards and sort of pretty little yarny pictures and everything stuck up at the back of my shelves. And I haven't put those back up again yet. So I thought, why not put them up today? I can share some of them with you, and I can sort of share my shelves with you as well, and all of the little trinkets and bits and pieces that are on the shelves that you see behind me when I'm podcasting. So here are my shelves that you normally see. Usually I think you can only see the bottom shelf, but there are actually 3 shelves. The very top one is mostly just storing stuff, basically. But there's all kinds of bits and pieces on them that I thought I would share. So to start with, let's start over here, shall we? I'm wondering if I should open the blinds, but the sun comes in here so much. I've got some really random bits. I've got this lovely little fluffy pom-pom sheep that I got as part of my Advent swap this year. So he just lives on the shelf because he makes me smile, especially with his googly eyes. And then we've got a random penguin in egg cups. And again, this might look like quite a strange little thing to have on the shelf. But these egg cups used to be my grandma's. And I can just remember using them at my grandma's house, and we inherited them at some point, but we don't tend to use them because we've got kind of simpler ones for the boys that I'm less worried about them breaking. So they just live on my shelf to remind me of my grandma. We've got my lovely Cornish gingerbread tin, which hasn't actually got anything in, but it reminds me of Cornwall, because for those of you that don't know, I actually grew up in Cornwall. And my family still live down there, so it's a special place to me. I've got my lovely golden syrup tin, which holds my crochet hooks, and a lovely little glass monster that, again, I received this in a swap package, and it's so pretty. And he just lives on there. I've got all my gnomes, of course. Move that one. I've got all my gnomes. I can't remember all of their names, but these are all from the Imagined Landscapes Mystery Gnome Knit-alongs. There's another one just there. So much fun. Check out her Instagram if you haven't heard of the gnomes before. She's Imagined Landscapes on Instagram, and she hosts a lot of mystery gnome knit-alongs. And they're such fun little projects, and you come up with some really, really crazy little gnomes. This was the first one I knit, and she had like a garden theme. Then there was this one here, which has got really fun little, I'm gonna have to take that down. Really fun little three, like a jester hat almost, with little tassels on the top. Then there was the colourwork one, which is really fun, and I love his long hat. But I struggle with colourwork, and he wasn't as fun to knit just because of that. Then there is this one here, which I absolutely loved knitting because it's all marled, so it's all held double, and I love the little twirly bit at the top of his hat. And then this was the Advent gnome. So he was really, I did him in sort of December, and I just love the details of like the little curled toe, and he's got a really fun little pom-pom on his hat as well. What else have I got on here? These little glass things, again, they were my grandma's, and I can just always remember them being on her shelf. So I acquired those, and they just live on my shelf, and they make me smile, and they're pretty. Then I have a jar full of scraps. This is just kind of ends and bits and pieces from yarn that I've been, mostly work yarn, I think, but it looks pretty, so it stays there. Then we have my skeins of yarn that are my kind of knitting goals for the year. I don't know if you remember me saying earlier in the month, and if you watched my Vlogmas series, you'll have heard me talk about it as well. But one of the goals I set myself this year was to pick 6 skeins of yarn from my stash and turn them into socks throughout the year. And these were, well, there's 5 now, because the Henny Penny Makes faded Christmas ones that I cast on this month was the 6th skein. But yeah, so there is Chromatic Yarns, her Social Justice colourway here, insert class here, which is really, really pretty. There is a Down Sheepy Lane Witcher inspired self-striping. There is a skein of Fruitful Fusion, and this is the Sarah colourway. That's so, so pretty. And again, I've been desperate to turn this into socks. It's a bit of chaos going on in the background. There's this skein of Moods of Colour, which again, I got in a swap ages and ages and ages ago. And I absolutely love it. But it's just sat in my stash, so it definitely needs to become a pair of socks. And then the final skein is this one here from Strawberry Fields Yarn. And I think it was called Gingham Altar. And again, that's a skein of yarn that's been in my stash for ages that I'm desperate to turn into a pair of socks. So they are all living on my shelf, ready to remind me to use them. That's not meant to go on there. That's actually stock. There we go. And then the next shelf up, I've got some random cakes of yarn that are ready to kind of be cranked. These are all just really random skeins that I dyed. Although I think that might be my Toil and Trouble colourway. And then the other ones are ones that Arthur and I dyed. Oh no, that's a commercial yarn at the bottom. But those two are ones that Arthur dyed a while back, and I was meant to turn into gifts for Christmas. Whoops. Sort that out in a minute. I was meant to turn them into gifts for Christmas and failed. This here is the spare cylinder for my sock machine. Got a little bit of hand spun yarn there. I really need to get back to my spinning. I haven't done any in ages. There's my little sheep with his little sample. Some little bits and pieces, some books, my sock machine, and then, as I said, the top one's just lots and lots of storage. And then the final thing that's here is my pin pennant with all of my pins on. So I've got a flying pig. Oh, why won't you focus? There we go. A flying pig, procrastinator, lovely rainbow balloons, Yarn Cafe Creations. I've got a crit and knit from Hannah at the Corner of Craft. I've got my lovely It inspired Pennywise sheep. The Die Candy mental health, so drop the stigma not the stitch pin as well. Keep crafting and keep gaming, because yep, I do love a good computer game. The Flower Power Fund one, and then one from Ellen at Kalashek Ellen as well. So yeah, just a few little pins on there. Not that my camera wants to focus today. There we go. So yeah, that's my shelves. Now I'm going to put up some of these postcards. There we are, all my postcards are up. I've got an Eat, Sleep, Craft, Repeat little card from Lana Boo Shops. This one isn't a card, but my dad did this with the boys. So the boys painted it, my dad just helped them with the colour placement, which I think is really cute. I love the fact that Arthur signed it A and J, but got the J backwards. Then I can't remember where some of these came from, but there's some little cards that people have sent me. This little print came from the novel Menagerie. It's just really pretty. The postcard, the No One Is Too Old for Fairy Tales, came in my advent calendar this year from Henny Penny Makes. The Jane Eyre postcard also came from Novel Menagerie, as did the rainbow one there. This was, again, these two were just cards that people have sent me, but they're pretty. Same with that one back there. And then the same with that one there as well. But I always like how it looks once I've got them up. It looks much more homely and much more pretty. Right, the last thing I wanted to share today, before I end this slightly lazy vlog, so apologies for that, is Book of the Day. And we have had some very good news here in Scotland that they are advancing our COVID restrictions schedule. I'm not sure if that's quite the right way to word it, but you know what I mean, I'm sure. So basically, we have been restricted to our council area since the beginning of the year, which normally would be okay. But living in Dundee, our council area is very small. We have 20 square miles of council area, which you'll probably have heard me moan about before, because I just feel that with like Angus next door, their council area is 800 square miles, whereas we're 20 square miles, and restricting people to their council area when there's that much difference in like the places that you can go, just seems a bit unfair. Not that I'm moaning at all, because I completely feel that everybody should have followed the stay at home, and we've been very strict about kind of sticking to COVID rules. So it's all good. It's all good. Anyway, from Friday, we are now allowed to travel anywhere in Scotland, as long as we're only going for the day, we're not staying overnight and stuff like that, which means that we're going to be able to explore slightly further afield again. We're going to be able to go for some of our favourite walks, and we're just going to be able to get out of Dundee, which will be nice. We don't really want to meet up with anybody. I don't mean it like that. We don't have any family in Scotland. All of our family are down in Cornwall, or dotted around England. So that doesn't make a difference to us at the moment. Nobody's able to come and visit us. We're not able to go and visit family still yet. So it's not that we really want to get out and see people and meet people and go and find, it's just that we kind of want to get out of Dundee and go for more walks and explore a bit more. Anyway, I'm rambling. So on that note, I thought I would share these for Book of the Day. Now, I know I've talked about these before on previous vlogs. If you've watched my August vlogs from 2020, you'll definitely will have seen these. But I love these books for walks. They are published by Pocket Mountains, and they do various books for all around the country. We have got Angus and Dundee, Aviemore and the Cairngorms, Fife and Perthshire, because they're kind of our local areas, if that makes sense. Angus and Dundee, there's ones that are really local. In fact, Brotty Ferry Beach is in here. Aviemore and the Cairngorms, we bought this one when we went camping. Gosh, that must have been in 2019. I did a Vloggy Days vlog, so oh, maybe if I'm clever, I could pop a thing up on the screen, a card that you can click on to go to that video. But we went to Loch Lomond and we camped at Aviemore, and we bought that one when we were up there. Most of these are a good hour's drive, if not more, away, so this book gets used slightly less regularly. But then we've also got Fife and Perthshire, which again, they're kind of our local areas. Fife is just the other side of the River Tay, and Perthshire is just to the west of us. North, east, south, west. Yeah, Perthshire is just to the west of us. And these are brilliant. The thing I love about these books is that there's a real mixture of walks. It gives you like the distance in kilometres as to how far the walk will be, but that really ranges. So like you've got this one here, which is 15 kilometres and like a 6-hour walk. But then you've also got, in fact, this one's a good one we've done before, Newtile Railway, which is 4.5 kilometres walk and only 2 hours. So it's really good kind of finding walks that the kids can manage as well as us. And I really like, it gives you like a blow by blow of the walk. So like, let's have a look. Fofar Lock says, you know, begin the walk at the Fofar Lock Ranger Centre where there's free car parking. The route runs around between the caravan park, and it kind of talks you through the route, and it points out any interesting features on the way, as well as giving you like a little map as well that you can follow. So these, if you find ones for your local area, I would really recommend them. They've really got us out and about, they've really got us exploring, and we found some really lovely walks that we do really regularly nowadays from these books. And hopefully, if the weather's nice, next weekend we might pick a walk outside of Dundee and have a little drive and see if we can just go and explore a little bit more and take you with us, and hopefully get some proper, really good Scottish countryside views. Fingers crossed. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there for today. This vlog's then probably going to end up being really long, having said it's going to be a lazy one, but I seem to be talking a lot. So I will leave it there for today, and we are going for a walk tomorrow. I think we're going to Crombie Reservoir, which is a relatively local reservoir to us. It's slightly outside Dundee, but it's within our 5 miles travel limit. So, and we're still allowed to go there, I think. We'll see. We're going to Crombie though, for a nice walk tomorrow, and we'll take you with us then. Anyway, I'm going to go before I ramble even more. See you tomorrow. Bye.